Okay, we're about to start our panel now. Expanding business relations between Latino and U.S. communities. We have over here Trade Minister from Spain, Jose Gazzello. We have Luis over here, the Chairman of the Hispanic Chamber, and Beth Roney from the head of the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey. We all know that Spain's a tremendous trade partner, and this is an opportunity for everyone to be able to be empowered and be able to get guidance. I would like to start off asking Luis to make his opening remarks.
If you allow me to, ladies always first. Beth, please.
Introducing? Good afternoon. Again, for those of you that weren't in this morning's session, I'm Beth Rooney. I am the Port Director for the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey. The Port of New York and New Jersey supports over 600,000 jobs in the region in transportation, distribution, logistics. Is responsible for $280 billion worth of cargo that comes in and out of the country through our ports. We're the largest port on the East Coast, second largest for loaded containers in the United States. And for businesses that are involved in the import and export, you want to be here and you want to move your cargo here for several reasons, the most significant of which is that you have access to 1/3 of the nation's GDP, 1/3 of the nation's GDP within 36 hours of arriving in the Port of New York and New Jersey. No other ports combined can do anything like what we're able to do in terms of the population that you can reach from our facilities. So I'm looking forward to a great discussion this afternoon with our Latino partners.
Jose, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Dobby, for having me this opportunity to stay here to be able to talk about Spain, about the Latino community. And I'm the head of investments at the Trade Commission of the Embassy of Spain in New York. Basically, what we do, we help Spanish companies do business here in the northeast of the country, and we also advise American companies to set up operations in Spain. We've been working in the trade and investment relations during more than 40 years. We are in Manhattan. We are based in Manhattan, in the Chrysler Building, and I will be happy to talk to everyone who is interested in doing business with the Spanish companies here in the U.S. or with the Spanish companies in Spain. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. My name is Luis de la Hoz, and I'm the chairman of the board of directors of the statewide Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. When I grow up, I want to be like John Harmon, that tall. He's the one who inspired us every single day. But I also want to address that here with us today, we have Kelly Brosina, who is the state director of the New Jersey Small Business Development Centers that cover the entire state. And we also have Gus Peñaranda, who is the president of the New Jersey Pride Chamber. And we are here also on behalf of Francisco Cortez from the New Jersey Veteran Chamber of Commerce. It's a lot of minority chambers. Not everybody was able to make it today, but we are happy to represent them. We are over 140,000 Latino small business owners in the state of New Jersey, and we contribute more than $20 billion to the economy. 97% of our business are micro businesses. They have less than 10 full-time employees. But the reason, and we came from 22 different countries, and we have presence here in New Jersey from 17 different countries. We have 6 or 7 consulates that have presence in New Jersey, and the rest of the Latin American countries, they are in New York, but they cover New Jersey. We focus on 4 subjects: access to capital, access to new markets, access to networks, and since the pandemic, to reduce the digital gap. But when we are talking about access to new markets, procurement opportunities, is our main focus. We believe that that's the opportunity that we have to generate wealth for our communities. And we were discussing that the Port Authority of New Jersey and New York is a big opportunity for minority business owners because they have been doing a lot of activities, but they have big plans in the near future. And we have Gladys Bonglang here that just finished the second contract at the airport, and that make a difference. Took her 5 years to move from residential to commercial, but being the Port Authority, the first government agency that she was able to perform that scale of the business is a huge opportunity because she also received the Business of the Year award from the statewide Hispanic Chamber of Commerce because it took her 5 years. It's a lot of discipline, a lot of perseverance, a lot of hard work, because just to do the paperwork itself, you need a full-time person to dedicate to that. But the most important thing is she realize a lot of our members that it's possible if they take the time. And we also have the opportunity to tour the port in Newark. And we was amazed about everything that is happening. And I will say that almost 70% of what's happening at the ports happen in New Jersey, but that may change in the near future. But we see that as the biggest opportunity. We have Choose New Jersey that he just spoke a few minutes ago, and we have the port. Those are big opportunities for us, and we will make sure that our business owners, they have access to the bonding, the capital, the legal advice, the accounting, everything that is needed in order for them to perform well when they have those opportunities.
So I think that's the perfect segue into the diversity, equity, and inclusion programs of the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey. So for many, many years, we have been focused and we have required in all of our contract opportunities that we let ourselves, as well as the contracts that our tenants, whether they're our airport operators or their retail businesses in the bus terminal or the train stations. And let me just back up. If you're not familiar with the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, the port, the maritime portion of it, is just one little, very little portion of the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey. We own and operate JFK Airport, LaGuardia, Newark, Teterboro, and up in Orange County, New York, Stewart Airport. We have all of the tunnels and bridges that connect New York and New Jersey. So the George Washington Bridge, the Holland and Lincoln tunnels, 3 Staten Island crossings, Bayonne, Goethals, and Outer Bridge. We've got the 42nd Street bus terminal. We've got a bus terminal at the George Washington Bridge. We have the PATH, Rapid Rail Commuter System. We have the World Trade Center complex and the maritime facilities. So we are truly an intermodal agency, and we are involved in all transportation of people and goods that are moving internationally or moving interstate between New York and New Jersey. We do not do anything intrastate. So all of the bridges and tunnels that connect one borough of New York City to another, those are a different agency. So again, because the agency is so large, there really are a lot of contracting opportunities. We have been focusing for many, many years on ensuring that small, local businesses, those that are women-owned, minority-owned, service-disabled, veteran-owned businesses have a unique opportunity to do contracts with the Port Authority. And we have an Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion that helps small businesses do the paperwork, which is a little burdensome, in order to get that paperwork completed so that you can be certified as a diverse business with the Port Authority. Then when that happens, you have the opportunity to bid on certain contracts based on the dollar value. And really what we want to do is we want to be able to have small businesses come in, get their feet wet in smaller Port Authority contracts, prove themselves, and then graduate and hopefully one day become, you know, a big business that smaller businesses will be working with and working for. And then in part of that, we also, through those same call-in lists, we provide the large contractors who also have to commit anywhere between 7.5% and 30% of the value of the contract, depending on what it is, must be completed by a woman, a minority, or a veteran-owned business. So we look to connect the large businesses, might be a large engineering and architectural firm, and they need to be connected to smaller businesses that can do subcomponents of their work. So we hold a number of events as we are letting these contracts so that we can create marriages between those large companies and the smaller companies. And then we work with the small companies over time to help address, you know, any of the issues. What we also do is we make sure that payments are made. We aim for 14 days of receiving an invoice because we recognize that the small businesses can't front, you know, and carry the load of, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars, you know, of expenses that have been put out. So anybody who's looking to become a certified vendor with the Port Authority, you know, John and his team has been working, you know, with the Port Authority. We can connect you with somebody in our Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, and they can work with you on that paperwork and get you onto the right solicitation lists.
Please.
Thank you, Luis. When I was preparing a little bit my speech here, I was thinking about the importance of the Latino community for the Spanish companies. And let me tell you, it's really big. Just to give you an idea, when a Spanish company is expanding overseas, obviously our natural markets are closer. All right, different. Yeah, our natural markets are Europe, of course, and South America and Latin America. And this has been tremendously successful for us and for the companies. Just to give you just a couple of numbers, Spain is the second largest investor in South America, just after the US. Sometimes it's the US, some others is China. And these companies that have heavily invested in South America and Central America, the next step is going to the US. And where in US? It's obvious. Florida first, Texas, and New York. Why? Because of the Latino community. The cultural aspect, I think, for the Spanish communities, for the Spanish companies, communities, organizations, has been key for them, for their successful. And we have really great examples of largest Spanish multinationals coming here, partner with the Latino-owned businesses, and have a great impact on their communities in Texas, in Florida, New York, and New Jersey. I was talking the other day with a couple of entrepreneurs from Spain, and they were looking to set up a business here, and they didn't know how long it will take, how will be to get the first customer, and immediately they connect with a couple of guys from New York, but from Puerto Rico originally, and immediately they connected and they have created a business partnership, and they are doing fantastically. They are really doing really great things. We are helping them in their industry. They are in the food industry, and it's a perfect combination for the Spanish companies with the dimension and the size of this market.
Continue. If you have a time constriction, just focus.
Well, I will focus that one thing that I realized from the Latino community is also that the diversity. When we think about the Latino community, there is not just one profile. We feel that there are very different Latino communities, is not just because of the country of their origin, but also the state where they are. It's not the same that the Latino community from Texas, from Florida, or from New York. And this is really important for a foreign company when it comes here, because they have to realize that they are dealing with different backgrounds, different things. But at the end, the cultural aspect of sharing the same language and in almost same kind of values is very important to make the match. And the third thing that I would like to talk is about the Latino community that are investing in Spain, because when we feel that we need to attract more investments from abroad, we feel that it's very difficult for some countries or for some companies to look up Spain, because there are so many countries. The other panel, the New Jersey guy mentioned that there are 50 states and it's very difficult to choose one, right? It's the same at the international level. What I will say is that for a Latino entrepreneur, a Latino business owner, it's very easy for them. They go to Spain because it's the main hub for doing business, not just in Spain, but in Europe. And for a European, it's very easy to go to Spain and start their business for South America. So we have become like a platform, like a hub for those entrepreneurs that are looking to invest in South America from Europe and from the US to Europe.
Okay, just want to share a few numbers. The GDP from Latinos in New Jersey is close to $100 billion, $97 billion a year. That means that in the past 10 years, we was able to generate some wealth. And we understand, yes, we came from different countries, from different regions on those countries, and we have different levels of acculturation. 60% of our members, they will prefer to learn new subjects in Spanish. But the job that we do at the chamber is make sure that everybody have access to the same information. All the training that we offer is in English and in Spanish. And all the people that came to provide like knowledge and to share and advise our members, they are bilingual in English and Spanish. We just want to make sure that people understand the basics, because just as an example, for procurement opportunities, we need to develop the experience, we need to develop the capacity, we need to have the ability to get bond, right? We need to have the ability to get finance. And those are the things. Thanks to the NJEDA, we do the bonding class for free. That's something that the African American Chamber started, and he just left, but we continue doing that. We do it in English and Spanish. And the other thing is, thanks to the capital team of the SBDC, when a customer come and say, my maximum capacity is 500,000, but the Port Authority is offering me $1 million, they will make sure that they will help that individual to secure the money that they need through any resource that is available in the state or from the government agency. And remember, those services from the SBDC are prepaid. If we pay taxes, we already pay for those services. Sometimes they charge a minimum fee, but the majority of those services are at no cost. And they have something that many other organizations don't have, is that they cover the entire state, because they have 12 centers or 11 centers. Each center will cover 2 or 3 counties in the state, and they will be able to provide the technical assistance. And the other thing that we do is, like on our way here, we get an email from PSE&G that they was looking for a specific minority business owner that offered a service. I shared that with the other chambers to make sure that we will provide a pool of people where they will be able to identify the right fit for that need. And when we refer the business owner, it's not just a name or it's not just an email. The people that we identify as those that complete the training that we offer, that attend most of our events, and those are the ones that we are able to basically support through the entire process. we will become the support system for them. It's not just a lead, no, it's a real business owner that we will make sure that will receive everything that is needed in order for them to succeed. Because what we really want is that they will come back to us asking for more. Now, the biggest challenge that we have is, as you mentioned, the big contractors or the general contractors always get the bundle. They get the entire contract, and usually they express, I did an effort to find a minority business owner. Believe me, if you call one of us, any minority chambers, we will make sure that we'll make those introductions. That way they don't have an excuse telling the entity, in this case the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, that they was not able to find anyone. Because we will identify the one that is capable, the one that have the experience, and the one that have the financial capacity in order for them to provide the service. Early this year, we submit 6 businesses through a platform called Blue Wave. And that platform allows us to identify the type of service that they can offer, the amount that they can offer, the capacity that they have, right? In order for us to guarantee that the person will be successful on the services that we provide. And as I say, we don't do everything in-house. We partner with other government agents and other non-for-profits and other chambers to make sure that we have a good fit. At the national level, at the federal level, you only need 2 veteran business owners to bid in order for you to offer that contract. In the state of New Jersey, you need 3. You know how hard it is to find 1 veteran business owner? Try to find 2 or trying to find 3 is almost impossible. We, as a minority chamber, we try to support other minority chambers because we know the struggle to grow. And every time that a door opens for us, we will keep that door open for the other minority chambers, and we will become the cheerleaders for them to make sure that they have the same opportunities that we have. The other thing is when an international company comes to New Jersey, they will have the opportunity to open 22 different markets. If your product is good in New Jersey, people in New Jersey will send that to the country of origin. And that happened to a New Jersey company called Bonach, that when they send people to open markets in Dominican Republic, the product that they offer was already there. Why? Because customers here identified that there was a good fit for them. They start sending to the companies, the family members on the country of origin. That's the importance. We have Gabi from the Guatemalan consulate was here early today. Someone came from Guatemala a year and a half ago trying to sell a product, and we was not able to identify who can buy and distribute that product. But they identified 2 needs in New Jersey. Now they are sending peltre, which is a type of metallic items that are less expensive, but now they have the ability to be painted and they look really good. And the other is called estropajo, which is a root that people use as a natural sponge. And they discovered a big opportunity on that market that they went back to the country of origin. They focus on those products, and now they have a really good business opportunity going on.
Well, I have to say that I come from not that I come from, but I live in a small town in Rockland County, New York, about an hour north of the city. And I'm familiar with the Chamber of Commerce from my daughter's Catholic school. And I can tell you that that Chamber of Commerce is nothing like what I have heard about chambers, in the last several hours. And the work that, all of the various chambers of commerce do for your membership is really, 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 really impressive. So just again, one of the benefits, I think for the Port of New York and New Jersey, when we talk about the Latino markets, is not just the population, but the location. So when you're talking about coming across the Atlantic Ocean from Spain, or you're coming to the US East Coast from Latin America, from Central and South America, the Port of New York and New Jersey, in terms of a large container port, yes, there may be a larger Latino market in Texas or in Florida, but in terms of the ability to reach via a large port, we've got services that are regularly coming from ports like Barcelona and Valencia and others. And then we have a regular weekly, actually twice a week service that is coming into the Port of New York and New Jersey from Central and South America. We're calling ports in Ecuador, in Costa Rica, in the Dominican Republic. I'd like to have ships that go to Guatemala, but the port, is very, very small. I have a warm place in my heart for Guatemala as my daughter's adopted from Guatemala. So I'm at least the mother of a Latina girl, 21, but she's still a girl to me. So what's interesting in terms of our market with Spain, so far this year, our export market in total is down, but our exports to Spain have more than doubled this year over the same period last year. And interestingly, we're exporting things like completed vehicle parts. So these are parts of vehicles that are manufactured usually in the Midwest, and they come into the Port of New York and New Jersey often by train, and then they will get containerized and they will leave our port on a container ship. We're exporting wood pulp to Spain, we're exporting appliances, and we're exporting plastics. On the flip side, we import quite a bit of prepared fruits and vegetables. That's our largest percentage of product that we receive from Spain. I think some people will be happy to hear that the second largest is alcohol. That's just a very, very, very small percentage behind fruits and vegetables is alcohol, ceramics, and then sugars. So I don't have the statistics for some of the Latin and Central America countries, but there are quite a bit of produce, and a lot of the produce that is consumed in our region, everything from bananas and plantains to peaches and cantaloupes and melons and things like that, are coming on ships on a weekly basis. We do a lot of coffee and cocoa that come up from Latin America. So again, just a very important relationship that we have with Spain and other Latin American countries.
70% of the produce that come from Mexico pass through Passaic. And all the cilantro and all the avocado that we eat every single week that come from Passaic, through Passaic. Not only for New York and New Jersey, but they sell to Chicago and other places that they don't have a larger Mexican community as we have here in New Jersey.
Yeah, no, that's right. And you can, that access that we have to 1/3 of the nation's GDP, that really is about the cargo that we can get to New England, Eastern Canada, and out to the Midwest. So today is Tuesday. A train that leaves our port tonight after everything shuts down will be in Chicago on Thursday morning. So second morning, a train is in Chicago bringing the product that has arrived in New York, New Jersey, out to the Midwest. And as ships are getting larger and larger, and we, because of the population that we serve, we are taking about 65 to 70% of the capacity of the ship off at our facilities. And then the ship goes down the coast to like a Norfolk, Virginia, and maybe a Charleston or a Savannah. But since we're taking 70% of the cargo, the ship remains in port here longer than it does elsewhere. So usually before the ship has even finished discharging its cargo here in New Jersey, the cargo that was destined to the Midwest has already arrived there. So there's benefit because we are the first port of call 76% of the time get off the train as quickly as possible or get off the bus as quickly as possible, get to your final destination before the bus even reaches the next stop.
I just wanted to say that even my background is in investments. On the trade side, I will say that if we look back 5 years, probably New Jersey will be the top trade partner with Spain. And not just Spain. I believe that if you are a European e-commerce, the natural hub to deliver all over the US is New Jersey. You have the containers, you have the shipping, and you have the logistics. I believe that on the logistics side, I think there is no other better place than New Jersey. And if I look the stats from the Spanish companies, after New York, New Jersey is the second largest number of Spanish subsidiaries in the northeast of the coast. So I believe that it will continue to grow because European businesses are willing to come here. E-commerce has already boomed, but it's still working on. And I think that the improvements that the Port Authority and the warehousings, the technology that they are implementing are key to continue this growth.
Also, the World Cup is coming to New York.
right.
But the games will be playing in New Jersey. That's a $1 billion opportunity that is coming to our region. And thanks to Gus, we are planning on a meeting with FIFA. It's a panel with them about diversity and inclusion. But the most important thing is $1 billion opportunity in a 30-day span, right? That's a good opportunity. And they really need to use the airports, the port, everything, because everything needs to travel through New Jersey. As you mentioned, logistics. And we know because we have one group of 752 truck drivers that they work from the port every single day. And they was really busy since the pandemic until early this year. But we noticed that the lot job will get back to normal because it's a lot of people, we cannot stop eating and we are cannot stop buying, especially through online. But as I say, there's a lot of opportunities that together we can satisfy, and also that we can use the same port to export. I was amazed because during the port tour that we did, the taxes that the port pay to the state government is like 13 billion, or it's an amount that I was not able to process that day. It took me like a few days just to understand the amount. But that's the importance of being, because remember, you need to pass through New Jersey if you are coming from the west and you are going to New York, right? Or if you are leaving New York and you are going anywhere in the west or south, you need to pass to New Jersey. Those are bigger opportunities because on 24 hours from New Jersey, you can basically serve 40% of the population, because you can be in 4 hours in Boston, in DC, in Delaware, in many, many places. Those are the opportunities that we want to explore. And as I say, we are really happy to report that we start doing something. We really want to keep doing better because we know the opportunities. And we just want to make sure that the prime contractors use minority contractors for those, that 30%. New York is doing more than 30%. In New Jersey, 3% of all the spending from the states supposed to happen with veteran business owners, 0% have been done. That's a shame, and they offer a great service to our community. They deserve better. I'm very proud. I came here in 2004. My father was granted asylum, and I always say that thanks to the veterans, we found a safe country to start a new life, and that's why they deserve to get all the support that we have. And I hope that my neighbor, best friend, adopted 2 children from Guatemala, and we become close because I became the translator every week for the family calls. And I'm very proud to hear that you have one adopted child from Guatemala.
You know, the Port Authority, you know, it had been past practice that if a large prime contractor said, yeah, I tried to find, you know, a minority firm, you know, we would kind of just accept it. We no longer accept that. We really come down hard on prime contractors now, and we need to see evidence of conversations they've had, meetings they've had, solicitations that they've had. We provide those prime contractors with lists of those vendors, and then we want to see evidence, you know, that you have gone out to them, you've asked them about the work that they can do, and if they say that they don't have the capacity, then we need to have an email from them in order to prove that they do not have the capacity to do that. But I appreciate, you know, the fact that you guys are willing and able to help connect us and to connect those vendors, and the offer stands for all of the chambers. The only way we're going to build this network is those relationships, and there's been a lot about relationships discussed already today, but this really is about relationship building, and we're here, you know, the Port Authority was founded to create economic activity. We cannot create economic activity if we don't build those relationships and give what I'll call the little guy or the little gal an opportunity.
Let me tell you, in the state of New Jersey, right now, if you want to take advantage of the urban enterprise zone, they need to get John's signature or the statewide Hispanic Chamber signature to make sure that they did the effort. Because believe me, if the Port Authority reach out to us and we are not able to find, we will develop that business owner in a way that in the next few years you will be able to find that person. It's not that we just send because we know the drill. They will send an email blast, and nobody will answer because the email is in English, and they use all the codes that are needed for someone to not pay attention to the email. We send a newsletter every 2 weeks that sometimes I do my own summary, and I do a Facebook Live or a Instagram Live, just trying to summarize what is important and relevant for our community, because otherwise they won't pay attention. And if I identify an opportunity, I will personally call or reach out to an individual business owner, or as I say, I will reach out to other chambers, because we don't expect us to do all the work. We just want that a minority business owner have the opportunity, because we believe that the best way that we have to overcome poverty is through entrepreneurship. We have 5 more chances to save money. And also, Mexico just opened the consulate in New Brunswick, because Mexico became the largest trade partner of New Jersey in the past few years. And if you add Mexico, Canada, and the US, we are like a force that cannot be stopped. We're talking bigger than China and other economies, just because the amount of people on the middle class that we have and the purchasing power that we have. Any questions? Moises, can you take a picture? Yeah.
Any questions?
Yeah, so it sounds like it's a combination of what Luis was talking about earlier, where, you know, there's methodologies to help bridge the gap in order to be able to prove that you can do the contract, bring those people on initially, start the payroll, and then our commitment to paying the bills, in an expedited way, I think, just fortifies, your ability to get up and running.
The city of New York did something very interesting, that if you bid with the city, they put money aside that through a non-for-profit, you can get like almost access to capital at 3% annually until you get paid. Basically, the invoice from the agency will become the collateral of the financial transaction. That's something that we mentioned to NJEDA. Now, NJEDA have been very generous with us, but I always say we need to talk with like at least 10 people at NJEDA to make something happen, and we are in number 5 so far, but we will get there. But believe me, we believe that if the agency is giving you the opportunity, if we rate the loan or the line of credit based on the credibility on the agency, not necessarily on the capacity of or the credit report of the business owner, but if the business owner has the rest of the qualifications, that will be possible. Remember that I mentioned that access to capital is the biggest or the most important need, and we have Kelly and the NJSBDC with the capital team that can make that happen for us.
Thank you. I just want to add one point. 2 weeks ago, I met with the chief of the Minority Business Development Agency of the Department of Commerce in Washington. Her name is Joan J. Hill. She's in charge from the Secretary of the Department of Commerce in charge of the Minority Business Development Agency, and she was going to be with us today. But she was trying to make it work. It was the end of the year, but we are going to be hosting an event with her, so stay tuned, and I'll let you know.
I hope the next panel will be in Israel. I'm ready.
Well, that's 4 o'clock. That's like in 5 minutes. We're bringing Israel here. Max. That's Trade Minister Israel.
Okay, we are ready. And
Yes.
we use the Port Authority.
Sure.
Kelly.
We talked a little bit about the importance of getting all these businesses certified, women-owned, veteran-owned, minority-owned, small business. I'm hoping that the small that they fight and compete, and how New Jersey, how we're offering out all those certification labs that we're doing, and how you get these businesses ramped up. Might not be a big boy or girl yet, that they can actually get that experience and expertise that they can grow their business to one day be the.
Yes, the NJSBDC offer labs just to get people certified, but aside from the state certification, the Port Authority has their own certification. Now, one thing that is important, because I called Moises yesterday, is we have some people that they have all the documents, but they don't know how to type the information on the form and make sure. They offer some assistance, because when you enter to the Port Authority, they will assign you someone that will be like your main contact, right, Gladys? Mentorship, yes. But what we realize is that many of the business owners, even with that mentorship, they will need extra hand-holding, and that's why I believe that the NJSBDC will help us to fulfill those gaps, to make sure that the people will take advantage of the opportunities that will become available. Gus.
So this is to Ms. Rudy. So I am the head of the New Jersey Supply Chamber. So we're the only state LGBT chamber of commerce in New Jersey. So who do I contact to make that connection so that I can provide information to those businesses in our chamber that want to, get ready to be able to bid and participate in whatever the board does?
Yeah, feel free to give me a card, any of you that want to connect to our Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, and then I'll make an introduction to that staff. We have an individual who is focused on port department activities, but I think many of the businesses can go far beyond the port, including the aviation. So I'll make an introduction to the assistant director. There's a Carlos and then Glenessa.
And we have, what is the name of the lady in the airport? No, but it's a lady in the airport. Natasha.
Yes.
Yes, Natasha Lucia. Yes. But yes, we have that contact information. Unfortunately, we have the meeting after your gala, guys, and that was, but I sent you the email with the PowerPoint presentation that they shared. And also, they shared with us a plan that is for the next 50 years, I believe. It's an expansion plan that
2050.
2050, yes. And those are big opportunities, but we need to be ready for the opportunity when the opportunity comes. Because if they do the effort and we are not ready, there's no chance that we will be able to take advantage of those opportunities.
Thank you very much. We're going to have to conclude this panel. We have another panel coming. I want to thank Beth for staying all day. I know she's exhausted. I see she's exhausted. And she stayed through 2 panels and she sat here all day. Really, she's a tremendous asset. And, Louis, pointed out specifically how valuable it will be to have her here. And I'm so happy that she was able to join. Thank you on behalf of Louis, on behalf of the Spanish Chamber, the Jewish Chamber, and of course the Trade Minister you met now, and be able to collaborate with everyone together. And everyone's welcome to join now the Israel Innovation Panel. That's going to be starting, within the next 10 minutes or so. And we thank everyone for their support. And we look together, collaborating together. And Louis, as I mentioned, when we have those events with the head of the minority from Washington, I'm going to include everyone, include you include everyone, and we'll make sure to empower everyone from the highest levels. Thank you all.